Hello, my name's Kerry, and welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk about all things mindset, motivation, and manifesting. And the fact that you clicked on this video today, it's a sign that what you desire also desires you. And believe it, right? And keep the faith, because you're going to have evidence of that very, very soon. And you can come back and share it in the comments if you want, or DM me, but it's on its way. So and as we get going, I've got a couple of quick things to touch on here. Thank you to each and every one of you who have subscribed to my channel. I've surpassed, in the first 4 months, I've surpassed the amount of subscribers I thought I would have. And it's not a lot, you can check it out, but I was hoping to have like 50 in a year. So I'm past that, which is good. So thank you for your kindness and following me along this journey, as well as all the comments. What a great community we're building here. And I am grateful for that. So thank you to each and every one of you. And today's video is a result of that. I had a few requests through comments and messages to do a video about what to do when the person you're with says, I need space. When you hear I need space. And so we're gonna touch, I've got a list of 6 things that kind of some do's, some don'ts of what you should really pay attention to and go through when you hear those words from the person that you're with. So another quick thing I just want to touch on, I was going to do the video with sunglasses today, but I decided not to. So the shiner, I waited a couple of days hoping it would go away, but I do have a shiner. You can kind of see it in there. It's not a photo effect. Yeah, I coach lacrosse. I coach my youngest son in lacrosse, and I took a lacrosse ball on the side of the head on the last weekend and took one for the team right there. That's evidence. So anyways, that's what that's all about. So I had someone ask if I was starting a fight club somewhere, but that's not the case. So, okay. So let's get into it. I need space. When someone hears those words, generally it's going to catch you off guard. I have heard those words in relationships, and that's plural, yeah, in my world. So, and again, that comes back to recognizing the patterns, and which I was able to do after the last time I heard that, and kind of have a little more awareness in what's going on. And I can kind of do another video on that later, on how to kind of recognize those signs in relationships, if you'd like. So put that in the comment below. But looking back, the signs are definitely there, but we ignore them, right? And when I heard those words, both times it brings on feelings of confusion, fear, uncertainty, rejection, all of those things. And often than not, right, both times caught me by surprise, and that's because we're just really not dialed into kind of that communication isn't there in a relationship, right? And my first reaction, and I can't speak for everyone, but in the guys that I've worked with and ladies that I've worked with, as well as myself, right, that first reaction is, oh, if they could just see how I'm changing, or how I understand now, and how great I'm going to be, if I could just convince them, and honestly, if I'm going to go over some tips here, which I wish I had both of those times, but I didn't have them, right? So if there was a list of the top 10 things not to do, I definitely did most of them, blowing off business appointments to come home and do laundry, and missing exams. I missed an exam because I wanted to go and buy flowers and have them sitting, at her house when she came home, because she would see how sweet and romantic I was. Terrible. Terrible. I can look back now and say that, but anyways, we'll get into it. So generally, let's start off. We're going to start off with what a person generally is thinking when they say they need space. Try to provide a little bit of understanding in there, and then a list of six little kind of tips, do's and don'ts that I have if you do hear that, and hopefully that helps you out moving forward with whatever resolution, that however it works out. So, okay, so generally when a person says they need space, right, they're feeling confusion, overwhelm, uncertainty, pressure, unfulfilled, need for change, and they feel almost hopeless that's not going to happen in the relationship for whatever reason that may be. Confusion, this. Now, and obviously these are vague generalities. There are every individual situation is unique, and so there's lots of that. There's sometimes you hear that and it has nothing to do with that, but anyways, I'm kind of working on vague things here. So, if someone says they need space, there's usually a few things that could be where that statement came from. So one is they truly want to save the relationship or work on the relationship, but they just feel that they need a little bit of space, backing off, little breathing room to kind of analyze what they want from the relationship, how they want to show up, and just kind of seeing, clarity if that's them or someone else like you or whatever that is, right? So and that's one of the cases. The other, another case is it could just be they want to end the relationship. That decision has already been made, and they're just, for whatever reason, they're just trying to let you down easy, or they're the fear of what your reaction might be, and they just want to kind of let you down easy, sort of thing. And it could be, and those are kind of the way that people are when they're authentic and care about you. And then also there's other things where, on the other extreme, where people say they need space, and man, they're already checked out. They're sleeping with someone else. They got someone in the wings already, and stuff like that. And the I need space is just a way to hide and disguise what they got going on, and kind of have the cliche, have your cake and eat it too, right? So, I mean, it could be a number of those things, but that's kind of where that comes from. And I'm sure there's others. If there's others that you kind of think of, you can share it in the comments as well. But where that comes from, and I can speak personally from the, because I work with men in this as well as on my own experience, right? Where that comes from, and why we get caught by surprise is we get comfortable, right? Routine, kind of maybe off our purpose a little bit, off our game, whether that's, in careers or fitness or family life, like whatever, right? And we just kind of get in that. I mean, and eventually those things kind of eat away. Maybe we're not as confident. Maybe we're not leading like we should, and things like that. So if that resonates with you as a guy right now, if you can feel that that's kind of where you're at in your relationship, I'm telling you right now, this is your little sign. Like, let's connect, and you can start taking action that is going to serve you better before you get the I need space. All right, but so when back to where we said once we've already got it. So that's kind of where it comes from, and again, that's speaking from personal experience. So when I heard that, first thing I did, right, again, the list of things you did with like I explained before, and panicking, and if I could just prove that that's not me, I'm changed and I'm willing to do this and everything else. But a lot of times when you hear the I need space, that's been cooking for a long time. And the person you're with often is already checked out, and sometimes there's a backup plan that they've already got cooking. Sometimes it's just the fact that they just need to kind of get out and get some breathing room from the relationship. They feel controlled, suffocated, just with that hopeless again, right? So again, first thing I did, hit Google, start typing in, and away you go, right? And there's all kinds of advice on the internet, and there's a lot of great advice, and there's a lot of terrible advice. So this is kind of me sifting through some of that, as well as my personal experience, the work that I've done, as well as just the research, right? In becoming better and navigating that, because it's like, okay, well, it happened a few times in my life, so what am I missing that I got to make sure it doesn't happen again? And how can I support others with that? And that's why we're here, which I am grateful for. So let's get into it. Number one, right? Don't argue. Don't try to convince them. Don't argue with them. Don't plead, beg. I mean, and I if you go a couple videos back, I can also link it in the comments below. There's a video on why you should never beg someone to be with you. And that goes into this in all detail, but it is the opposite of what is attractive, right? Do not beg. And that is contrary to your first instincts and what you want to do. If they could just see me, if I could just convince them, if I could just write one more letter, one more email, have one more conversation. That's not it. They need space. And I'll come back to it, and I think it's point, I'm looking at my notes here, like point 4 or 5 here. But in order for you to, if you want to save your relationship, have a chance of moving on, or even if you want to kind of save your dignity on the way out, don't argue. Don't beg. All right. I know it's contrary to everything you're feeling right now, but trust me, that is the move. How do I know that? Because I did the opposite as well. Oh, if I could go back. But anyways, okay. Number 2, stay calm, confident, collected, right? Secure, grounded. Surrender that you cannot control how others feel. You cannot assert anything into someone else that can make them change their mind, that can make them love you, make them care about you more, make them realize that wasn't your intention, all of those different things, right? You got to stay calm in that, though. right? That's what it's all about. Panicking, yelling, screaming, being violent, throwing things, getting crazy. That does not serve you. That just justifies their reasoning why they would need space, and just kind of resonates a little more with them on why they really need to make that move. So stay calm. All right, and so many times it's like the whole I need space thing. I mean, yeah, it's involved in a relationship, but a lot of times what I would have loved to hear is, hey man, it's not all about you. A lot of times it's what's going on within that person, right? Whether that's issues from the past, triggers, traumatic stuff, unprocessed emotions that they haven't dealt with, there's a lot there. So anyways, it's not all about you. So we don't have to worry about asserting that. And I mean, and it's impossible to do that anyways. So number 3, when they say they need space, give them space. I'm not talking about a little bit of space. I'm talking about erase them. No contact. I mean, that's a cliche thing on the internet, but it's no contact, right? And I know that you want to know what they're doing. You're curious. What are they doing? Who are they doing it with? Are they thinking about me? All those things. But, and if you don't give them that space, like number one, you're not listening to what they asked from you in a relationship right off the bat in what you're doing. But you want, in order for them to miss you, they need to experience that as well. And the only way they miss you is when they don't know what you're up to, and there's a little mystery behind it, right? There's a Massimo Vignelli quote, and I'm going to read it here so I don't mess it up. It's the space between the notes that make the music. And truly, in a relationship, in friendships, and in every relationship, my relationship with my kids, like all of those, it's the space. If you're with them all the time, you can't miss someone. So, anyways, no contact. This means don't go firing, and looking at their social media. Don't like their pictures. Don't watch their stories. Don't drive by their house. Don't do any of it. Mute them. Do not contact them. Give them space. And again, contrary to absolutely everything. And I'm going to move into this in a second, but that will, if you want a chance at saving the relationship you're in, again, or salvaging any dignity and respect that you have moving forward, no contact. Do not approach them. All right. So number 4, in order, and this touches on that, it's kind of a point that emphasizes the importance of number 3, because so many times, I mean, in relationships, a little different for guys and girls, but I mean, it's the same. But in order for a woman to truly love openly in a relationship, they need to feel safe, heard, and understood. And if someone, with my experience, right? Male-female relationships, that as a guy, I mean, if the person you're with says they need space, in order for them to feel safe, heard, and understood, safe, okay, so you respect that. 2, heard, yes, I heard you. Understood, yes, I understand, and you're going to do it. So that's the if you want to make progress, that's the way to do it, right? From a guy's, it's a little bit different. I mean, those do play in to that fact, but more so guys, it's about respect, right? If they don't feel respected or, and loved in a relationship, that's kind of where that comes from. And so it works kind of the other way around, right? Respecting that person's desires, right? And showing them, look, I understand that's what you want, so that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do, right? Okay, number 5. During this space, do not sit at home with a candle in the window, looking at old pictures, pining over them, wishing that they're going to come back and hoping that they're thinking about you and all those things. No. Take this time and work on you. What do I mean work on you? Here's what I did. And what in my coaching, what I encourage others to do, and if you need support with this, you can reach out to me. I have one-on-one that I work with people and things like that. But I make a list, right? When you hear I need space, give them space, sit down and make a list, right? And there's going to be a couple, so there's 2 lists. Number 1 is what happens if we stay together. The other list, what happens if we don't stay together. I mean, those are the 2 options, right? And then make a list of what you can do to work on you and improve yourself in the scenario that you stay together. The other one is, what do I need to do to work on me if we don't stay together, right? Make those 2 lists, and there are going to be common items, common things on both of those lists. So what do you do right now where you're kind of in in that limbo zone, that gray area. Are we together? Are we not together? I don't know. What do you work on? The things that are on both of those lists. Some, things right off the top of your head: fitness, physical fitness, right? You can work on that, like workout stuff, improve your health. You can't go wrong with that. Things about communication, if you read books, podcasts, courses, things like that about how to be a better communicator, things about increasing your emotional intelligence, understanding, like all of those things, work on you. They're going to help you out in both of those. All right, but that's the thing. Dial into you. Get back to knowing you. Because chances are you've lost touch on that a little bit. All right. Number six, and this is the last one, and it's probably one of the most important, right, as you understand all these other ones, is wait until they come to you. Right? When they say they need space, don't sit at home and be, okay, I'm gonna give her 48 hours. And then all of a sudden you text and phone and show up at her house. No. Wait until they come to you. So I know, and probably if you have just heard they need space, your first reaction to that is, well, what if they never come back? What if they never message me again? Well, then there's your answer, right? Whether they message you again or not, either way you win, right? Because you do not want to be in a relationship with someone that does not want to be with you. Okay. So if you never hear back from them again, well, there we go. There's the end of that one, right? Move on, live your life, work on yourself, be better, because when you become better, you attract better. And really, every single relationship I've had in my life, every single one, from grade 4 when I had my first girlfriend, where having a girlfriend grade 4 consisted of holding hands and going out and a peck on the cheek behind the school backstop. There's a little insight for you there, right? Anyways, but as we move forward in life and we go through that, every single relationship that ended in my life that I thought was absolutely devastating and was, that was the best I could ever do. That was it was everything. I'll never do better than that. Has been proved false. I have always, from the work that I've done on myself, the awareness, the realizations, the clarity, I have always, the next relationship when I attract that into my life has been absolutely amazing. And blown every single one of the other ones out of the water. And that is possible. That is going to happen for you too. Okay? So now here's the other we'll touch on this. That when they do contact you, when they do reach out, hopefully it's more than just a text message that says, hey, because we've got those before, man, those are terrible. But, hopefully it's more than that. It's like, hey, how you doing? Or what are you up to? I've been thinking about you, this and this. Well, then your next thing, what you do is invite them to have a conversation with you. Don't text back and forth. Don't sit like that. None of it. No phone calls, no text. It's let's get together and have a conversation. And if they say, oh, I don't think I'm ready for that yet. Well, let me know when you are. And then go live your life. Wait. Trust me, you deserve a conversation. If they want to have a conversation, then you have that conversation. And that's what the conversation where you move forward and you discuss the issues that were there, and if you're able to come up with a path of resolution that works for both of you, well then, hey, right on. Well then, getting back together, seeing how it goes, and all the best to you. If you talk about those issues and you feel that there's no change, there's no resolution, there's no moving forward on that, well, there's your answer. Thank you very much for our time together. I wish you all the best. Bye-bye. Right? Okay, so anyways, that's I try to keep all my videos under 20 minutes, and I think I'm close. So thank you so much for joining today. Right? If you found value in this, you can like it, share it with a friend if you think it would help them. Subscribe to the channel and again, I'm so grateful for each and every one of you that's subscribed so far and your comments along the way. I read everyone. I reply to everyone. I'm so grateful for everyone. There's been some people making big moves in their world, which I acknowledge you and congratulate you and every single person that's improving themselves. As, like I said, I'm in the same journey, right? In that constant evolution to become the best version of me. So that's what this is all about. So to find out more about how to work with me, if you want to discuss this topic a little further, I've got group coaching programs. There's one-on-one programs and there's information. I'll link it down below for that. And if you're interested in more information, check out this next video that's popping up on the screen. Keep the momentum going, right? Because it's going to be about motivation, mindset, manifesting, and and inside of that, the health and fitness, relationships, all kinds of stuff. Your relationship with you is what that's all about. So thank you so much again for joining, and until the next video, sending peace, love, and positive vibes your way.